Hi everybody, this is Antonella, also known as Simone. And the question today is, are you an empath? Well, for those of you who don't know, an empath is someone who can feel other people's emotions. You just know things that other people don't know. You can feel energy that the eyes can't see, but you can feel in your body. You sense it. That's an empath. And here I want to share some signs that will indicate if you're an empath. There's a lot of different signs. I'm only going to cover 3 or 4. And then in later videos, we'll go over more. I also want to share what you can do to cultivate those skills if you choose to cultivate them. So, if you're an empath, you can feel other people's emotions. So you can be sitting in the doctor's office, let's say, and the person next to you looks fine, but you know that they're struggling with something. You recognize and can sense the emotion that they're feeling. You know that it's anger or it's grief. You just know. And you may know the situation around it. Not exactly the details, but you know, oh wow, they're dealing with a breakup. Even though on the outside they look fine, you just know. A second thing would be that people want to tell you their whole life story. You go to the store and you want to buy, a shirt, and you talk to the salesperson, and all of a sudden that person starts telling you all kinds of things, really intimate details. You listen because you're polite, but then you're just like, can you tell me where the women's department is? But that happens a lot. So if you find that that's your experience, odds are you're an empath. And there's a lot of empaths out there, and more people are becoming aware of that as time goes on and the new energies people are becoming more aware of the new energies. Another thing empaths experience is it's vital to have alone time. So if you find when you're with a lot of crowds, or around a lot of people, or even spending time with your family for long periods of time, you need to go by yourself. You need to go find time to be with yourself. And that could be being out in nature. That could be just being in your room, but you need to just unplug and be away from the world for a little while to kind of rejuvenate. And then you can go back out and be who you are. So if you find that you need your alone time, that's a big indicator that you're an empath. Many empaths have extra weight. Energetically, it's just to protect them from the energies, because we're very sensitive to our perception of positive and negative energies. Another thing that empaths have challenges with is watching movies. Watching hard or really sad movies, or listening to news that's upsetting. That really upsets us. It affects our day. So if any of those things or all of those things resonated with you, odds are you're an empath. Now, if you want to learn more or how to cultivate those gifts, here are some things you can do. As an empath, it's really important that you take time to kind of tune into who you are. Tune into what resonates for you, because we pick up a lot of stimulation from all over the place. And also people feed on us. There's a lot of energy feeders. In another YouTube, I will explain what that is if you're not familiar with that term. But because we are of the light and we're empaths, people just cling to us energetically. So it's important that we do things that make us feel good. And that might be getting a massage, that might be going for a run, that might be reading a good book, that might be planting or being in the garden, planting a flower, being in the garden. Those things, it's really important that we do self-care, that we have self-care for ourselves. Another thing would be to meditate. Now, a lot of people say, meditate, quiet your mind, don't have anything in there. That's really an impossible feat, to just quiet your mind. Abracadabra, your mind's empty. That doesn't happen. That does happen with training in a long time. What I'm talking about is being with yourself, and that could be taking a run and just letting your mind process. It could be saying a mantra just over and over. It could be, for those of you who are religious, using your beads or your rosary. and saying a prayer over and over by rote memory, that allows your mind to kind of relax. And also by doing that, by relaxing your mind, it relaxes your nervous system. And when everything's more relaxed, you can get messages. Messages that pertain to you, some inner knowing. Journaling is very powerful. A lot of times we will discount feelings and impressions we get. And as empaths, we get a lot. So start journaling. Start writing down what you feel. And the reason I always push for journaling is because it makes your thoughts concrete. We have like 1,000 zillion thoughts a day. If you start writing your awarenesses down, you will start making them more concrete, but also you will start making them, you start becoming aware that, wow, I was right. That was true. I was right on with that, but I discounted it because I thought it was impossible. So those are some things that are really important to do to kind of cultivate those empathic skills. And a big one is guard your space. Because as an empath, we want to help. We want to help. And people who are wounded and broken kind of gravitate towards us, and we do help them. We want to help them, but there's a price. So it's really important that we guard our space with that. They want to, be part of the light that is us, but it's really important that we protect our own space first. So take a look at your relationships and see how they make you feel. Because as an empath, you'll know what feels good and what doesn't feel good if you get your mind out of it. And then if you decide, hey, this relationship is just not good for me, then create some space, because that's really important. It's an important way to cultivate those empathic gifts. Because if you're trying to fight off other people's energies, whether you're aware of it consciously or not, then you can't give attention to your own abilities and your own space. And so you're never getting to where you would be truly in alignment with your empathic gifts. So those are some things that you can use and some food for thought. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love if you subscribe to my page, and look forward to hearing some feedback. So thank you for spending a few minutes with me.